Hello there. How are you?
Hi. I'm
Is
great.
everything all right over there?
Yeah.
There's no more Willie. I'm noticing in the background. There's a picture of a Willie. It looks like, but there's no actual
No,
Willie
that's not a
Nelson.
picture of Willie. Where do you see? No, that's.
It looks like little Willie. They're small on my screen. It looks like, I don't know, maybe sausages. What are those pictures of back there? There's three of them.
Those are books.
Those are books. What's on the front?
Yeah. What do you mean? What's on the front?
Well, they look like little sausages, is what I'm saying. It looks like pictures of penises on those,
Oh
and they're small.
no, they're
I didn't.
explosions.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry. They're from a
They're
distance.
all.
I didn't mean to
They're
mess you
Patty
up there. So.
Logan's. They're Patty Logan.
Ah,
The Death and Destruction series, 1, 2, and
gotcha.
3.
It wouldn't surprise me if Patty Logan had pictures of large sausage, peni. Anyways,
I wouldn't doubt it either.
how are you? Welcome to the
I'm.
special show today.
I'm good.
This was
Are
this
you?
was everyone. This was little Alyssa Gramling's idea. She wanted to do a wrap up,
No. No.
a top
This
10.
was
Yeah.
Cheryl's idea.
Oh, my bad. I can't give credit to
Cheryl
Cheryl for
did.
anything.
I
Really.
can, because she said that she was doing a top 10 for Love Bites.
Okay.
So that gave me the idea to do something like this.
Gotcha. So everybody has credit where credit's due, even Cheryl. So,
So you said earlier you had too much coffee?
yeah, in fact, I really kind of did. I switched over to Jody made the ginger tea stuff again, where she diluted the ginger, and it's delicious. It's super spicy, but yes, I am certainly caffeinated this morning. Let me find my
Feeling a
buttons
little
here.
jittery?
In fact, I am. So your thing here, Alyssa Gramling, is who you going to call? I was thinking this morning about Ghostbusters, and I was like, who are you going to call? And I was like, well, Melissa Gramling. So this is Melissa Gramling is who you going to call. There you go.
Ah,
It
okay.
makes perfect sense now, doesn't it?
I got a little confused by that. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, it made perfect sense to me this morning when I was typing it out. Anyways, here we go. The top 10. I'm going to pull up the first one here. And does this go by bullet rating in particular? How did you figure out which was like...
I literally tweaked this thing so many times that finally Monday, I think, I just said, it's done. I'm not tweaking it anymore. And somebody made a screenshot of it, so I would not tweak it anymore.
Right. You don't
But
want to
some of
tweak it.
these
You don't want to tweak it when it's done. That's
some of these were off and on the list so many times it was like whatever.
I get it. Well, so we're going from it's still my favorite, but it's like the 10th all the way up to like it's my favorite. It's the number one. So it's like a rating scale. It's not just like in no
It's
particular
not
order. These are in a
right,
particular order. Okay, I'm
right.
just making sure.
And then we've got 3 honorable mentions in there
You
after.
got nice. All right,
I had to.
I understand. It's hard to pick your favorites. It's like children, except really, I think parents always have
It's
favorites
not
with
like
their
children.
children. Yeah. So,
Kill 'em, kill
anyways,
'em all.
I'm going to pull up the first one here, and
Yay, you got it
here we
right.
go.
Yeah, I was
Look at
hoping
that.
you would.
I tried desperately.
Yeah. Number 10 would be Meet Me There by K.M. Newhold and narrated by Nick J. Russo. No, there wasn't exactly a bullet rating system going on with this list. It just,
You look like you're clicking
but
around
this
the
one,
list right now.
I had to find my top 10 audio thoughts. I
I got you.
pulled up the wrong one.
I got you. There's many documents. All right, please go ahead. Proceed. What was it about this book?
Um, well, I can't even speak right
You know,
now.
words are freaking hard. I get it.
They are.
Maybe
Yeah,
just don't tweak it when it's already done.
I'm not tweaking.
I'm just making sure.
Oh, Lord.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
when I finished this one, it was a bullet breaker.
Hey-o.
I don't it also came out on the 12th of September. of this year.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I think, yeah, but nobody else can.
Oh,
You're
I'm
the only
sorry.
one looking at this list.
It says Meet Me There by Cam Newhold, narrated by Nick J. Russo. Everybody knew that one as well. Came out the 12th. Was that my job in this one? I'm supposed to say September 12th?
No,
I'm sorry. There you
no.
go.
Um, yeah, like I said, this one jumped from like the lower part of the list to the upper part, then back and forth. It came off the list before one time, went back on it, and anyway, it was like my first time reading K.M. Newhold, and I absolutely love this book. Um, the whole pretty noises of Nick and just the synopsis, the I guess the damn words are hard today.
Synopsis or summary? You kind of went in between. You oscillated between the two of them there. Which one do you think? I think they kind of mean the
The
same thing.
gist of the book.
Gotcha. All right. The
There
plot.
we go.
The
It was my
heyo.
first time,
Look at
like,
that.
yeah, the plot.
I know. Words are
Oh,
difficult,
good
man.
God. Especially today, I don't know why.
The blurb. Sandy
The
said the
blurb,
blurb.
yes. Marlon and Reed were the two main characters. They met in a chat room when they were 15, grew apart, ended up meeting 15 years later. They hooked up every so often when one of them was in town, or they made special trips to figure it out. But I really loved the book, and like I said, it was my first time reading or listening to K.M. Newhold, so it ended up being like a new to me author at that point.
Mm.
I haven't read anything else lately yet, but I do have a couple of books of hers in my library, in my Kindle. I had other things to read.
Well, yeah, and we love Cam Newhold around here. Number 9. Is it okay to move on here? Have we
Yes.
touched on? All right. I've decided it actually looks like ice cream cones kind of shifted to the side on the books now. Maybe not so much penises, but ice cream cones shifted to the side. Sorry. Next we had
We had Dragon Collector. It was book 2 of the Dragon Horde series by Minerva Howe, narrated by you, and it
Hi.
came out
That one came out
the
on
6th of July.
6th of July. That's been a while ago.
Um, this one was also had been a bullet breaker for me.
Hey.
All the food and sex and perfect babies, but it was just awesome. I think it was because of this one or Nora that I actually got into dragons, because I wouldn't touch a dragon book. And
Little did you know, the dragons have to growl. You see, there's
yeah,
like I don't know if it's an unspoken rule between us narrators that when you get a dragon, you have to get growly. I'm not sure if it's like
oh yeah, there was a lot of
elves are
growling.
British and dragons are growly.
The elves are
Them's the
British.
rules. Yes, elves are British and dragons are growly. It's the unspoken
Yeah,
rules of being.
and when you were working on this book, I wasn't in there quite as often because I wanted to actually enjoy this one more than I did the first one. Because in the first one, I was in there a lot more than, and it didn't come out in 2002, so
Kevin says
22.
dragons are sexy, Melissa.
Yes, dragons are sexy, yes.
Dragons are sexy.
So are tentacles. But anyway,
Dragons
yeah.
and tentacles are.
Hey, there's a plot bunny for you.
There you go. I'm glad you enjoyed that one, though. We're actually about to start, and it's going to be weeks. I think I'm going to do this in Discord in January. We're working on book 3 in that series, so hopefully you like that. The next one, I seem to see some sort of similarities here. Not the cover model. Let's see.
Number 8 is Got Me Hoping by it's from the Bet Shop Boys series, book 1 by Casey Cox, narrated by you once again.
That's me.
And it came out the 15th of March of
That was
this
a while
year.
ago.
Yeah. And I had given that one 5 bullets. Apparently, Hayes was very proud of his spectacular cock. I was like, okay. When I first heard that one, it was a very low angst. I really enjoyed it, and just in one book, Casey has become one of my favorites.
Well, with a last name like Cox. Sorry,
Yeah, okay.
that was a little low hanging there. That
I
was a
think you
little.
did do some growling in this one,
Yeah, probably. It's par for the course. I don't know if you know this,
but
but
you
veterinarians are they're meant to be growl. They're like dragons, but veterinarians also need to be growly. Them's the rules. I didn't make them up. Elves are British, dragons are growly, and so are veterinarians. I'm glad you enjoyed this one, though. I think we're up to book 6 now, or book 7, or something like that. I can't remember where we're
book
at in that
6
series.
just came out not too long ago,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
probably book 7 soon.
Yeah, I've kind of lost track of the count of these things, but they're a ton of fun. I'll keep
Yeah,
on
just
doing
like
them until
Nora's
they're done.
books. Yeah.
The next one we have here is let's see if you say this last name correctly.
According to you, I don't. Christmas Leap by Kira Andrews, narrated by Greg Boudreau.
Or Tremblay, as
It
the
came
case may
out
be.
the 10th of November. And normally I don't go for the fake relationship tropes. I mean, granted, they can be sexy and hot, but there's just so damn many of them. Um, I know it's a very popular trope, and I know a lot of people love it, but like I said, when there's a shit ton of them, you kind of don't want to really listen to or read one. But I had given that one 4 bullets. It was a plethora of tropes other than the fake relationship. It was a bi awakening friends lovers first time. Will and Michael were the main characters. Greg did a Scottish accent that was absolutely wonderful
So hot.
and so hot. Yeah. And it Kira is one of my favorite authors. I've listened to a couple of her books that Greg has done. Um, and I really enjoyed this one, and it kept me interested. It kept my interest up. So
What was the bullet rating on this one? I'm sorry,
I think
maybe
it
I
was a
missed that in the
4.
beginning. A 4?
Yeah, it was a 4.
Yeah. Well, we all love Kira. We also all love Greg Tremblay, which is how you pronounce that last name.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Next we had.
Anyway, number 6, we had Swiped by My Dad's Best Friend, Thrust into Love, Book 1 by DJ Jameson, narrated by Nick Russo, and it came out the 14th of January. Yeah, this one was a bullet breaker. It was my first time with a DJ Jameson book, and I absolutely loved it.
Hell.
I love the trope, the whole the best friend's dad trope is just amazingly hot. And Nick moaning daddy was one of the highlights of the book.
So hot.
I said highlight, not hot, but yeah, it was hot. He makes pretty noises again. um, I haven't listened to book 2 yet, or maybe I have. I can't remember. Or I started at one point and hadn't finished it yet. Cooper and Trace were the 2 main characters in this one, and they were awesome together. The Like I said, the sexy times were off the charts, and that's why it was a bullet breaker. And it was Nick, of course, so I just absolutely loved it.
I think maybe he's trying to catch flies. Like,
Who?
if they come along, he'd be like, got him like,
At
just like
least it's
that.
not just the one ha. It's 2 ha's. Ha ha.
I've heard quite a few things about this book, and I think almost all of them were from you. But still, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Probably.
Yep. Next we had.
At number 5, we've got Fall Guy by Felice Stevens, narrated by Cale Williams. It came out the 11th of April. and I gave this one 5 bullets. I think we had done one. We had done this one in our audiobook club in Discord when still doing it. We haven't really done it lately. Um, it was Ronan and Gabriel. Ronan was arrested and put in jail for, I guess, well, pretty much being the fall guy. Um, Gabriel was the bodyguard that he hires to watch over him, and of course they end up falling for each other, and it was just it was kind of a bit of a slow burn, and then after, I guess, halfway through the book, it quickly didn't stay that way because they were all over each other. But Felice did an amazing job with this, and I loved it. And of course, Kale did a great job with this too. And of course, he makes pretty noises as well.
I thought this was a sitcom from the 80s. You remember The Fall Guy?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it was a
that's
sitcom, but
it was something like that. It was
it was a TV show. That's all I know. But it
right,
was the
right.
Fall Guy, not just Fall Guy. But yeah,
Well, yeah,
I
I was
could,
the same. That's what made
I
me.
think I watched
But I
it.
mean, so yeah, it was he was a stuntman, is who he was, the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I thought it was. That makes sense though, and of course, every time Kale and Felice come out with a book, we lose our crowd for a while. Next, we had
Next we had Malicious Midpoint, Demon Magic Book 3 by Alice Winters, narrated by Greg Boudreau.
Tremblay. Yes, this one
It
came
came
out
out
on
September
the
12th.
12th. Yep, looks like there
Yeah.
was a bunch of them that came out right about in there.
There was. It was a kind of like a tie between this one and book 2 from Alice's
Wait,
Medium series.
Lee Majors was in Fall Guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cheryl, you know everything. God, I was only like 2 when that was around. She must be a lot older than me.
Well, anyway, um, I had given this one 3 bullets because Alice's books don't revolve around the sexy times, but I gave it 5 stars. I mean, I love the series. Greg and Alice are amazing together. Miles and Havoc were amazing, and that one part where Greg read at GRL is in this book, and it just made me laugh my ass off about the. I think it was a Minotaur not owning any pants, or the Centaur not owning pants.
Was that he read that? Was that his bar reading that he did, or was that at the when we
No,
were
that was
at
at
the
the
panel?
panel.
Ah, okay. I had a hard time hearing him at the panel.
Well,
Like
there's
I
a
could,
video running around somewhere.
yeah, I need to watch the video. Sitting at the table, I had a hard time making out what he was saying. I could hear Michael. He was sitting right next to me, and Declan on the other side. Declan was a little quiet, but I could still hear him. But couldn't really make
Yeah,
out what Greg was saying.
yeah. It was like the funny part of the book where everybody was like crying about the Centaur I can't remember if it was a Centaur or Minotaur that didn't own any pants, and that they wanted to find some for him.
Makes sense.
I think he
Centaurs
does
should
at
have
the end of
pants.
the book.
It's no surprise Alice made it on the list, and of course Greg too, that golden-tongued bastard. Next we had
Number 3 came Dragon's Mate, the Irresistible Omegas. Really listen to me.
you're
Irresistible Dragons, Book 1
you're
by Nora
pretty good at this.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And narrated by, once again, you.
Now this was an
um,
older release because it was a bundle. So I think that, or was this? No. This
no,
was. Never mind.
this,
I'm sorry.
this,
I'm on the other one as well. I'm about to start the second one of this today. I just did the first chapter.
woohoo.
I'm very excited about it.
Um, yeah, I had read the arc before the book released, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't want to put that one down, and when I listened to it, it was the same way. When I first read it, I gave this one 4 bullets, but when I listened to it, it turned into a bullet breaker.
Hell.
Um, you did such a wonderful job with this one. It was like one of your best.
Well, thank you.
And you're welcome. And all the dragon growlies and the darlings that Reen had said was awesome and hot,
Yeah,
so hot,
so hot.
so hot.
Well, Nora's fantastic. She's a pleasure to
She
work for.
is.
Plus, Tracy brought her game on this one too. Tracy did all the pre-production on these, and you can tell when somebody is really into it when they're see her notes on the characters. Trace, all credit where credit's due. Thank you so much. Next, we had
At number 2, we had Head Above Water by C.E. Rickey, narrated by Michael Dean and Zachary Johnson. It came out the 1st of March,
March.
I do believe. Yeah, March. Um, I had given this one 4 bullets and a 5 tissue rating.
5 tissue rating.
It was very angsty, but I absolutely loved it. I had said from when Tracy first introduced us to Zach, I had been wanting him to do a duel with Michael after that. And when I found out that this one was coming out, I was really excited. Um, they did a beautiful job with this. It broke my heart several times, and it was just beautifully written and beautifully narrated. And sexy times were extremely hot. It pulled you out of the sad times for a bit until the author broke your heart all over again. She was basically like a female Tal Bauer.
I can't tell what's on the cover there. Maybe,
A silhouette of 2 guys
is that what it is? It's very small on my screen.
on a sandy beach. It looks like there's water on the side over here.
Ah, I see it now. I don't remember this one coming out. And I got to say, that surprises me because I would remember hearing. I'm sure you talked about it. I'm sure it came
Oh,
up
I
on the
did.
show. Yeah, I'm very
It
sure.
did.
That's awesome, though.
It was before we had moved to this house.
Ah, the big one
Yeah,
here.
because I
I'm
think
about to.
I started working at Papa John's about then.
It's amazing how you categorize things in your memory like that too. I do the same thing. Although I've had the same job for a while now, so no. I think about maybe you do this from when you were a kid. Did you move around a lot when you were a kid, or were you in the same place?
Kinda.
Kinda.
Well, my dad was in the military,
Yeah. Well, that would do it then.
but he retired when I was 8 years old. So we did move 3 times after that
Yeah.
before coming here.
See, that qualifies.
Yeah.
I categorize my childhood memories by where we lived at the time. So we moved sometimes every 6 months. It was a lot. Same thing, same categorization of. Anyways, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. The
You
final
didn't.
one, big one on the list
And
here.
at number 1 was the Dungeon Black duology by Cora Knight and narrated by Michael Dean.
Hell.
The release dates plural because I just combined the two because just an amazing series. The first one, Unearthed, came out October the 11th. The second one came out November the 3rd. And they were both, I'm pretty sure I said they were both bullet breakers. It was
Hell.
book one and book 2 of the spinoff from Upending Tad series. Again, Cora is an amazing writer. and really brings you into the world that she created. And this was Michael's best narration for me. Um, we had Max and Sean and their emotional roller coaster ride trying to get to their happily ever after. And after Max becomes Sean's Dom, and it just, her word, she's just an amazing author, and it always, her books always wear me out emotionally whenever I read or listen to something she's come out with.
Yeah, it they changed again from ice cream cones back to penises on those books.
What? No,
Sorry,
it kind of looks like feather dusters.
or feather dusters. Well,
They look like feather
anyways,
dusters.
they kind of do. Next to the pumps that go on men's asses.
No, no.
Anyways, I was no surprise to me as well. I remember I remember hearing you talk about this. And I remember you also stating at the time that you said it was Michael Dean's best performance, which is saying a lot because you're a huge Michael Dean fan. So I know you like the sausage. Anyways,
You've made
you
that joke.
you had several honorable mentions here.
Yes.
I'm going to bring
At
the
number
first
three,
one up. Here we go.
At number three, we had Insatiable in Vino Veritas. I think that was the spinoff for the regular Vino Veritas by Reese Everly and narrated by Kel Williams. And it came out the 13th of September.
It was a big week.
Yeah. I had given this one 3 bullets. It was my first time listening or reading Reese Everly, and it was a slow burn. And I remember getting pissed off at the book because it was not something I would normally get into. Of course, it was like a fake relationship trope. It ended up being that way. Um,
Was it like a younger guy, older guy thing? I found out I don't like that very much.
no, just this guy. What was his name? Um,
Bob,
Logan.
Joe, Logan. I
Logan.
was right on the tip of my tongue.
Bob Joe. Logan was an erotica writer, and Brady was just
Isn't that a Beatles
making
song?
wine. No,
Erotica Rider.
that's Paperback Writer, but okay.
Sorry about that.
Um, and he had made a bet with 2 or 3 other people that he could get Brady into bed, and that kind of pissed me off. But they kept going back and forth with their whole thing, and it different. Reese writes differently than I've ever listened to or read, because for a while I thought nothing was going to end up, it wasn't going to be an HEA, but I know technically most 99.9% of books are. But it took a while, and which was like different for me. But I really loved it, even though it just kind of upset me every so often. But
Did you go into the Brigadiers when you were listening to this, and did you say, "Is this an HEA?"
no,
Very like worried.
no,
I'm just making sure. I remember you doing that in the past. I couldn't remember if it was on this one or not. Maybe it was a Tal
no.
Bauer
I don't
book or
remember
something.
which one it was.
Probably. It's been a while. I'm glad you like that one. Next, honorable mention.
Is Deep Impact
Now, what do
by
you think she's
Elric.
referring to there? Is
No, 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 no. Probably not what you're thinking. Well, I mean, it could be, but who the hell knows? It was from The Wrecked Guardians, Book 4 by Kelly Fox, narrated by Zane Daniels. It came out July 22nd. This one I gave 5 bullets. It was book 4
Hey-o.
and the last of the series. And it was a bittersweet ending to the series, but even though these guys pop up every so often in other books she writes, DB and Odd were amazing together. It was one of those hard fought HEAs, but it had minimal angst in it. But I loved the whole series. I was sad when it was over, and I'm actually currently re-listening to book 2. Because it's a Kelly Fox week this week for Ramblin. But
I see. We love Kelly Fox.
yes, we
And
do.
speaking of the other honorable mention,
And the number 3 honorable mention is Hallowed Moon. It was a novella by Kelly Fox and narrated by Blake Lockhart. It came out February 7th, even though it was kind of like a Halloween type book. And it was a bullet breaker.
hey-o.
Kelly did a fan fucking tastic job with this, and Drew did amazing with his growlies and dirty talk with the characters. And it was one of my favorite narrations that he's done. It's probably due for a re-listen sometime soon. But I did really enjoy this one, and it was on the top 10 list, and then it took up, and yeah, that whole thing was just weird.
So you battled with the
Yes,
list
I
order.
battled
I
with all
see.
of these books.
Well, I'm happy you had a good idea. We put this together. I appreciate you putting together all the books and the list and everything else. We're going to have a normal show tomorrow for you at 11, which will be the normal releases and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you so much. Enjoy. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out. Good luck.
Yep. Bye.